Hello everyone, welcome to Market Faith Online once again. Today I am super delighted, all right, that you joined me today. Absolutely phenomenal. Always wonderful, coming to teach and being able to share with you, all right. Today we want to talk about turning around a struggling business, all right. What kinds of businesses should be turned around, and what can you do when your business is stagnating and when your business doesn't seem like it is moving forward, because this is a very critical question, especially if you're doing business in Africa. Most businesses are in situations where they need help, they need to grow, they need to scale, and I don't even need to go back and look at some of the issues and the reasons why that is important, right? But we understand that that is important. It is critical to grow. It is critical to scale our businesses. So how do you turn around a business that needs a turnaround, right? Maybe the first question we should step back and ask is, how do I know that I need a turnaround? Now, there are two categories of businesses that need a turnaround. The first category of businesses, right, are businesses that are really struggling. Okay, when the business is really struggling, I mean, that's a no-brainer, right? Everybody knows that it needs a turnaround and things need to get better. The second category of businesses that need to be turned around are businesses that are what you call, I put it this way, satisfactory underperformance. In other words, they are not doing exceptionally badly. In fact, they are satisfactory. In other words, the people running those businesses do not see anything wrong in those businesses, right? And these businesses are what you call satisfactory underperformers, right? In other words, they are not doing as bad as businesses that are in dire trouble, but they are also not doing great. But they are, because there is nothing on the outside compelling them to do much more than what they are currently doing, right? They are not doing much more than that. So how do you know if your business is in satisfactory underperformance? One of the ways you would know is when you look at your competitors and you compare your performance with your competitors, and you see that your competitors are doing better, your competitors are doing well. Why? Because if you're not careful, right, what happens is this. Warren Buffett said something, that it is only when the tide of water comes down that we know who is swimming naked. In an industry, right, the things that are going on in the industry may be raising the standard in that industry. Okay, but what happens all of a sudden is when everything goes down, that's when we know those who actually had the agility and the tenacity to survive the issues around the business. So if you're in satisfactory underperformance, what will happen is that the day the party ends in your industry, all your weaknesses will be revealed, right? And that will create big problems for you as a business. Okay, so whether you are in deep trouble, all right, and your business needs a significant turnaround, or you are satisfactorily underperforming, you need to listen to this series. As a matter of fact, I want to encourage you to do something right now. Pause this video and share it with someone else. Okay, let them know that this is something that will really help them and really help their business. Okay, and then do me a favor, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe if you haven't done that already. Okay, so back to what we're saying. A business needs a turnaround when it is even performing satisfactorily under, is performing in beyond, or rather below, its peers and the competitors. Okay, so many people don't know that they are satisfactorily underperforming. They just think that they are in an okay place, and it's not necessarily so. Okay, so compare with your competitors to see whether you are doing well compared with other people in your industry. The second thing is this: look at the data. Is your footfall reducing? The amount that customers buy per time when they come to you, is that going down, right? What are the things that are changing, right, in the dynamics of your business? That's the concept behind the book Who Moved My Cheese, right? And the idea is that there were two sets of mice, and one set, or one perhaps group, would go to a place where there were cheese, and as they were eating, they were taking measurements and noticing the changes there. But the other one would come and see the cheese and just eat, thinking that it will always be there, not knowing that slowly but surely the cheese is going down. So what am I saying to you today is, firstly, you need to assess your business, right? Are you performing under what you should be performing? Are you performing below your potential, or you are significantly underperforming? In either of those two scenarios, you need to turn things around in your business. And you need to do that as quickly as possible before someone else comes to eat your lunch. Okay? Now that we've established the kind of companies that need a turnaround, what are the things that you need to do to turn around your business, right? The first step that I always recommend, right? And we'll start out talking about a few of them this week, and next time we will go into it a little bit deeper. The first thing I want to encourage you to do is to go back to the basics. Listen, if you need to turn around a business that is struggling, you need to go back to the basics. In my experience advising several businesses in Africa, right? One of the things I have seen is that many people don't understand their business the way they ought to. When you listen to the Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, one of the things he talks about is that he understands his business better than most people understand even their own business. And for a long time, I struggled with that statement because I'm like, what does he mean by he understands his business? And the reality is that for many people running business today, especially small business owners, they don't really understand their business. They don't understand why they will put in X amount of money and get Y amount of money. Their businesses are not predictable. They can't tell you with certainty that this is the amount that they will close the year with because they don't really understand the fundamentals of their business, right? They don't understand the fundamentals of how money flows through their business, right? And listen, when I say that, please don't get offended and please don't feel like as if I'm insulting you that you don't understand your business. But just think with me for a minute, right? I remember having a conversation with someone, right? The person was selling clothes and the person will go outside the country, buy the clothes that they're selling, right? And bring them into the country to sell for a margin, okay? Now, when I sat down with this person, we started talking about how they were making money and how they were determining their pricing, right? One of the things the person said was that the way I determine my price is when I go outside of the country to Turkey, to Dubai, to China, wherever it is that they go and buy from, right? I mark up my cost, right, by 100%. Now, and from there, I know that whatever it is that my cost is, at 100% margin, I'm still going to make money. While that sounded interesting and that sounded good, until I sat down and I actually ran the numbers, I realized that this person is not making money. And sure enough, within the space of 2 or 3 years, they had shut down their business. Why? Because they thought they were making money, but they did not realize that there were several other things that they were not capturing in the process of determining their price. And so what happened is that they were underpricing for their goods. Now, because customers were coming, they interpreted the fact that their prices were low and they were still making money as far as they thought, right? To mean that their prices were cut below everybody else in the market and they were doing well. And within a short time, they were out of business. Why? Because there were certain other factors that they did not put into consideration. For example, let's assume that you are buying a piece of a clothing item for 500 and you said that based on 100%, you will sell for 1,000. All right, basic example. What you don't realize is that transportation cost add another 50 to 75, right? For that particular item, right? You don't realize that the cost of unsold stock is going to be spread across the goods that were sold. Let me say that again. The cost of stock that you could not sell is usually spread on the goods that you sold. What that does is that it reduces the margins of the things that you sold because there were things that you did not sell and you have to spread the cost on everything else. There were costs related to borrowing. Okay, this person was also getting money from other people and paying them a certain percentage, right? By the time you factor in that percent, I think it was about 15 or 20%. By the time you factor in that percentage into the cost, right, you would easily see that they were getting to their total cost for that particular item was getting to like a 900. Meanwhile, they were selling for 1,000. What does that mean? When you think you are making 100% margin, you are actually not, because there were certain other things that they were not factoring into the equation that was eroding their margins. What am I trying to say to you? There are certain businesses, right, that are like that. Because there is a lack of proper understanding of the business and how the business makes money. Look, I'm going to talk to you about certain things. There are certain kinds of businesses. If you stick with me, right, next week I want to share with you, right, some of the businesses that I've seen that are very difficult, very tough to be in, right? And because those businesses, almost everybody understands how things work in those businesses, so it's difficult for you to maneuver and do anything significantly that is significant in those businesses. Okay, so please understand this. When you don't understand the fundamentals of your business, right? Your income, your costs, your expenses, your profit margins, if any, when you don't understand all of those things, for example, if I gave you $1,000 today, can you tell me with certainty how much you will give back to me from this same business within the next 6 months, right? Do you understand the buying side and the selling side? Do you understand why customers are buying? Do you understand why they don't buy when they don't buy? Do you understand why you are in a cycle or in a cyclical period? Or do you understand how you make money? Do you understand these things, and do you really understand them to the point where you can close your eyes and say, listen, this business will deliver XYZ because you understand your business? Listen, I want to encourage you today. If there's one thing that you can take away from today's teaching, it's the fact that you need to go back to the fundamentals. You need to go back to the basics. Let's even understand if your business is making money in the first place. Because if the foundation is wrong, everything else you build on that foundation is going to be wrong. What that means for you is this. If your business is not making money and then you say you want to scale that business, you are going to be scaling losses and you are going to be expanding your losses. And I'm sure that that's not your goal. I'm sure that that's not your objective. So here's the thing. You need to go back into your business and look at everything in detail. Spend some time studying the data of your business. Study traffic, study footfall, study the customers that are buying from you and why they are buying from you. Understand why excuse me, understand why they are not buying when they are not buying. Understand why they buy when they buy. Someone just wakes up and say, oh, business is down today. Why is business down today? Why are things not working today? Why did they work yesterday? And why is it that they're not working today? Hey, listen, everything I've shared with you today is a lot to take in at once. I want to encourage you to go back and watch this video again, because you will understand that, listen, some businesses are not doing well and some businesses need a turnaround because there is a pure lack of understanding of how the business works. I hope that has been helpful to you today. Thank you so much for joining me on Market Faith. Listen, once again, if this video has been helpful for you, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.